what's up? All right, so today I have some thoughts for you in regards to sales. And I wanted to just chat with you really quick. I was doing some coaching with an agent recently, and I wanted to talk about perceived value. So when it comes to selling your product, let's talk about home or auto insurance, okay? We're not always going to be the cheapest. I don't care what company you're with, okay? You're not always going to have the cheapest option out there. So what do you do then? This is what I tell agents. This is what you should tell clients, okay? So you want to set up the conversation. When you get a chance to earn somebody's business and they say, yes, give me a quote, I like to ask the question, hey, what has you shopping today? All right, it will give you an idea on what lane to kind of take your sales process down, okay? And I kind of prime the pump. I'm like, look, most people buy insurance for one of three reasons. One, price. Price is going to be a factor in anything that we buy, okay? Not just insurance, but in any product or service that we buy. Price is going to play a role, okay? Two, service. In an industry like ours, service can be very, very important. You know, we sell a very important product and we're there for you at very challenging times in your life. So service can be important. Service is important, so let me be clear. Okay, and then three is the coverage that you're buying. You know, what has you shopping today? And you will get different answers from different clients. A lot of times, a lot of clients will be like, look, I just want to if you can save me money, we're good to go. Okay, well, that's probably the most common one you'll get. Once in a while, you will get, you know what, I don't know who my agent is. They never call me back. I bought insurance from one agent. They're no longer an agent. I'm with someone else that I don't know. You know, sometimes that relationship, the client to insurance agent relationship sometimes isn't great, you know, and they're looking for someone else. You know, I just moved to town. Maybe I need someone that I can trust. So you want to identify how to handle these responses. As far as coverage goes, that can be something that comes up too, where the client's like, I just want to make sure I've got the right coverage. I looked at my policy. I don't really think it's good. My agent isn't helpful. I need someone who really knows what they're doing, and so on and so on. So those are the three main reasons that people are going to be shopping for insurance. Okay. So like I said, most people are going to say price. That's fine. You just want to earn the right to quote them. That's what you're trying to do. Once you're in that process, once you've got all the information, once you have an accurate quote in hand, now you've got to sell it. Okay, so now if your price is higher, what do? You've got to sell your coverage or you've got to sell yourself. Okay, so you can always sell yourself because you're awesome. Okay, you're like, look, this is why you should come with me. Okay, this is why you should buy from me. This is why I'm worth the extra money. Okay, if you have testimonials that you can have them printed off. You can laminate them. You can email them. You can put them at the end of your email signature. You know, this is a great resource that, look, this is what my clients say about me. You know, you can show them that. You can share that with them. If you're higher in price and you've got to find something to sell. You're always going to sell yourself. Okay, the way I do it is like, look, we have the same people that have worked in this office for many, many years. We're going to get to know you. What's very important to us is the relationships that we have with our clients. Okay. When you call, you're going to talk to one of three people. Okay. Me, Meg, or Monty. Like, we get to know you. We get to know your family. We get to know your needs. We will look at your account regularly. We're going to do regular reviews. And then on top of that, we have relationships with people in town that are going to be there for you when you need us to be there for you. Obviously, when we're talking about a claim, right? We know the restoration companies in town. We know construction. We know the claims adjusters. We know the people that are going to be involved with helping you get through this difficult time. And we will be there for you in the event that something like that happens. And then you could share a story if you want to as well. Say, look, just this last year, I had this happen with a client, and this is how we got involved, and this is how we made it right. So then the last thing you can do is, when it comes to coverage and pricing, if you can find a gap in their coverage, that's where you're going to sell more value. Okay. So an easy thing to do on my homeowner's policy, I can write on the base homeowner's policy, I can write as much as $2 million worth of liability. Okay. You don't see almost any of that. Okay. So if you get a deck page and has all their coverages on there, it's got dwelling and separate structures and personal property and all this stuff, you're going to get down to liability. Most people carry 300,000 or 500,000 worth of liability. Okay. If your price is higher, if you're a few $100s higher, you can put on $2 million worth of liability. Now, I'd encourage you to do this in your own system, but see how much more is $2 million worth of liability if you bump it up from 500,000. It's not much. Okay. That's not anything that the client needs to know. So to go from 500 to $1 million, a lot of times it's only like $12 a year or $24 a year. Okay. To go from 500,000 to 2 million, it might be another 30 or $40 a year. Okay. That's a big win because you can say, look, I'm going to give you the coverage you need for your house. But the one thing that you're missing is enough liability. Okay. You have $500,000 right now. I'm going to give you 4 times as much liability as you currently have. And it's only going to be another couple $100 a month or whatever your pricing is. Okay. I'm giving you 4 times the amount of insurance on liability on your homeowner's policy for only. That is perceived value, because if they go to their current carrier and they want to jack up their liability, their carrier can probably do that for a nominal cost as well. But their agent did not offer that to them. Okay. So that's what I call perceived value. It looks like they're getting a lot more, but it's perceived. Okay. If they did that on their own policy, it wouldn't be that much. They might be able to slap an umbrella on there, but the umbrella is still going to be probably a couple $100 a year, to get you to 2 million. So think about that. The other thing, obviously on the auto side, you're going to do the same thing. If they carry 100, 300, you better quote them 250, 500 or 500, 500. Okay. Especially if you're higher priced. Okay. Cause you may know this, but to go from 100, 300 to 250, 500 is very inexpensive. Okay. But if you're $25 more a month or whatever, and they're at 100, 300 and you quote them 250, 500, and you're going to be 20 or $25 more a month, you can literally say, I'm going to give you twice as much insurance for only $20 more a month. Okay. Now, the thing that they do not know is if they called their current carrier in front of you and said, hey, I want you to raise my limits from 100, 300 to 250, 500, it's going to be $3 or $4 a month, or something like that. But again, their current carrier did not offer that to them. This is where you come in, give them the high liability limits, which they need. We all need high liability limits. Okay. And you could sell them on that too. Why do we need more liability? You know why, right? Because the cost of medical is up. The cost of fixing cars is up. People are calling their lawyers more. All of this stuff is tied to liability. Okay. This is perceived. It's not even really, it's true value, but from a cost standpoint, it's perceived value. Okay. Does that make sense? So that's what I'd recommend you do. You've got liability is the cleanest, easiest, quickest way to be able to say things like, I'm going to give you 4 times as much insurance. I'm going to double your insurance, for just this much. And so you don't have to, raise the curtain and tell them that you can call your own carrier and get this for $12 a year. I'm going to do it for you. Okay. So that's just a little sales trick. Like I said, I call it perceived value. It'll get you in there. It'll make it look like the policy is much beefier in coverage, which it is on that one line, but for that cost of insurance, and the cost isn't going to be that much more. So this is the easiest way that I've learned, to sell a higher price product. All right. You gotta show the value. Okay? You package the value of the coverage with the value that you're going to give. And that's how you sell a higher price policy. Okay. Now, if you're twice as much, that's a tough hill to climb, but they're not always going to be twice as much. Okay. So if you're within striking distance, this is the way that you nuance your way into, upping your closing ratio and selling more policies. There you go. My name is Matt. This is Agency Launch. You can find me all over the place. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram at Dietz Agency. I'm very active on LinkedIn. And don't forget to check out my master course at agencylaunch.net. Thank you so much for listening and keep up the good work.